Hey everybody, it's another edition of Unbreakable, the podcast. It's Monday, January 29th. We're almost done January. Thank the Lord. I'm here, and so is our buddy Bud. Right, Bud? Good to see you, my friend. And we're going to talk about those NFL playoff games yesterday. Before we do, couple days today. Today is National Bubblewrap Day. And I used to love popping those bubble wraps, That was a big thing when I was a kid. Now, bubble wrap back in when I was a kid, back in 1822, that was it was like a new thing. It was like a new invention. It was like, what the hell is this? Right? It's right. And you pop them, and you just, right, bud? We used to spend hours and hours. We had a very, very lonely childhood. Anyway, today is also National Corn Chip Day. Corn chips. Bud, what do you think about that, huh? You're a big food connoisseur, right? I mean, look at the size of you. Jesus. No, corn chips. My favorite, Fritos. Fritos. Of course, I don't eat that stuff anymore, but I used to love Fritos. Frito Bendito. That was their logo or whatever you call it. Fritos were always my favorite until one day I think I ate too many Fritos or something, and I just puked all over the place. So I was anti Fritos for a long, long time, and then I started up again, my Frito consumption. But love Fritos, and it's also National Puzzle Day. Now, here's what I think about that. I was never good at puzzles. Never, ever, ever. What, back in the 80s, Rubik's Cube used to be like a big thing. And I had one, everybody had one. But I was never good at it. I was never that technical to do it. Some people do it like in 2 seconds, and it's done. People do it blindfolded. They do it behind their back. All kinds of crazy shit. And they do, right, honey? And they do the Rubik's Cube. Me, I always used to have to cheat. You just take the cubes apart, put them where they're supposed to be, and take the little stickers off the thing and stick them back on there, and voila. But puzzles are fun. I could never ever do a jigsaw puzzle, right? But hey, Bud, you know what? Bud, I think I have a number here for you. Hey, it is. Here you go, Mister. Good boy. Jigsaw puzzles to me and they still are very, the hand and the eyes just don't coordinate. I can't see. I'm amazed at people who can do jigsaw puzzles. Kudos to you if you're out there. Some people have jigsaw puzzles on a table that's laid out, and every so often during the day they go by and maybe they pick up a piece and put one here, put one there, put one there, right? And all of a sudden, before you know it, it's done. We used to have, when I was a social worker at nursing homes, they would always have jigsaw puzzles out for our older residents to do. And that was a lot of fun. And here I am, I can't put one piece, even the quarter pieces in. And yet we've got these older people who are like 98 years old doing them, like just doing them and quick too. I remember we had one lady, I forget who she was, but one lady, he was just amazing at doing jigsaw puzzles. Amazing. Like these 1,500 piece puzzles. And she's got like, check in on her like a couple hours later, and she's got the whole thing almost done. And it's like, that's amazing, that she did that. I can't get one piece. Anyway, so that's the days today. All right, so let's talk about the games, huh? Uh, there were some good. They were good. They were good games. The second game I thought was better than the first because the first game sucked. I mean, that's just the unless you're a Chiefs fan. Now, the Ravens had it all set. Home field advantage. First time that they were hosting a championship game in Baltimore. uh, especially at that new stadium. And the Ravens had it all set up for them. They won last week against Houston. They were hosting the Chiefs. Chiefs are defending Super Bowl champs. We had them coming into Baltimore. It was rainy, cool, and it was just all set up. Your MVP quarterback there, great defense. Well, what happened was unbelievably, and this is almost criminal. The Baltimore Ravens lived on the run the entire season. Gus the Bus Williams and Lamar Jackson himself would run the ball a lot. And that's what they lived on. Running the ball, controlling the clock, using their great defense. Totally went away from it after that. They had Gus Williams, one of the first plays of the game, tore off a 15-yard run, and you thought, well, this is going to go well. Baltimore is going to run the ball all afternoon, and it just so happens Kansas City's run defense is one of the poorest in the league. So we thought, okay. Then all of a sudden, Baltimore's coaches and Lamar Jackson start throwing the ball. Throwing. It's like, what are they doing? They're going away from what they worked for them all year. And he thought, okay, all right, don't get back to the run game. They never did. Listen to this. The Baltimore running backs, Gus Williams, Hill, the other, only ran the ball 6 times all game. 6. And you talk about the Eagles not running the ball. It's different. Yeah, the Eagles, they don't depend on the run like the Ravens do. So it was a shock when the Ravens went away from the run. All right, so Lamar Jackson, your MVP quarterback, probably, had a horrible game, made horrible decisions. First of all, he didn't run the ball nearly enough like he usually does. He was tentative in the pocket. He looked like a deer in the headlight. It looked like, he has failed in the playoffs before, and it looked like it was in his head. It was in his head. The moment was too big for Lamar Jackson. He choked. What else can you say? The man choked. I was for the Ravens. If you remember, I picked the Ravens to win the Super Bowl before the playoffs began. I was wrong. I never expected the Ravens to choke like that at home. It was almost like the Chiefs got in their head, I mean, Jackson made so many crazy decisions. First of all, he held on to the ball too long. He should have took off in a lot of instances to get out of the pocket. That's his game. He didn't do it. Throwing the ball in the triple coverage, especially that last interception in the fourth quarter. 6 minutes to go. The game is still winnable. And he's throwing into triple coverage in the end zone. Baltimore, stupid decisions. Coaches, hardball, got out coached by Andy Reid. Baltimore, immature, undisciplined team. So many penalties. Zay Flowers, big part of why they lost that game. Had a great catch in the second half, got the Ravens down near the 10-yard line, then taunted the Kansas City defender, taunted him, rolled the ball at him, stood over him, taunted him, got a 15-yard punt. And what happened was we got another chance in the drop. Caught the ball, took it down, lunged for the goal line, lost the ball. Kansas City recovered it in the end zone, touchdown. Baltimore got nothing out of that drop. And then what happens? Zay Flowers, goes back to the bench, frustrated, slams his hand against the bench, cuts his hand, laceration on him. Lamar Jackson slamming his helmet down. Baltimore undisciplined. Hardball just got out coached. I mean, here is Baltimore using a zone defense for all the first half, and Patrick Mahomes slicing and dicing them up there, like Emerald Lagasse, just slice and dice. Mahomes did anything he wanted to do. I mean, if you're going to leave Kelsey open, Kelsey had 11 catches, 11 targets, 11 catches, over 120 yards, touchdown. Kelsey had a great game. Kelsey has rejuvenated himself. And of course, Taylor Swift was in attendance. And after the game, as the Chiefs were celebrating on the field, she came down, put a big kiss on Travis Kelsey's face there. How about that? Yeah, I'd play hard too if I knew Taylor Swift was there waiting for me. Anyway, so let's give the Chiefs some credit. 2 playoff games, 2 games on the road. They win in Buffalo, a very hostile environment, bad weather, cold weather, they win. They win in Baltimore, bad weather, hostile environment, they win. We are stupid, aren't we? The people, we took Patrick Mahomes with points. I mean, it's bad enough you're getting Patrick Mahomes in a playoff game. They're hardly ever losers. And they're giving you points, duh. Same thing is happening in the Super Bowl, but we'll talk about that later. But, so give Kansas City credit. The defense was stopped. Usually, if we call the Kansas City team 17-14, you should be looking. All of those defense played. But that's been your hallmark on the defense. After Queen, they had great Ty Hamilton, who the Eagles could have had, and they took hefty Jordan Davis instead. That game turned out to be a mistake. Kyle Hamilton, as we know, Eagles need secondary help. We would have been great to get secondary for years to come. Instead, we take Jordan Davis. We can't watch us win. And is it going to be a bust? I don't know. Anybody who saw Kyle Hamilton play at Notre Dame really was going to be a big time player. And it's hard to believe Kyle Hamilton last year took 13 for the Ravens until Ravens always have this way of drafting you, don't they? Eagles should copy what the Ravens do. Watch the Ravens. If the Ravens are taking this guy, some teams just have good scouting, talent evaluation. They know what to do. All right, so anyway, Baltimore's defense played great, held Kansas City to 17 points. Not good enough, because who knew that Baltimore freaking offense would only score 10 points on the whole day. So anyway, big disappointment. Ravens, great team all year, suck in playoffs. What could we say, right? Well, they're better next year. Ravens got to prove it to me that they can win in the playoffs, get to the Super Bowl. And no matter how well Lamar Jackson plays, he may win the MVP coming up. That's for the regular season. I bet you the people who voted for him may regret it now. But hey, give the guys kudos. He had a great regular season, but his game yesterday was terrible, horrible, as was the Baltimore coaching staff, as was some of the Baltimore players, immature, just they let things get to them. It's like the spotlight was too big for them. Yeah. But congratulations to Kansas City and Andy Reid. They're back to the Super Bowl. Try to win back-to-back Super Bowls. That is really hard to do. So it takes a special team with special fortitude to do that. So we'll see if they do. Game number 2, Lions at the 49ers. Great game. Lions jumped out to a 14-0 lead. Lions were aggressive. First of all, 49ers won the coin toss. They deferred like idiots. I've been saying, don't defer, take the ball. Lions got the ball, drove it right down the field, scored a touchdown. Lions go up 14-0. You'd say, oh, this is going to be an upset here. Lions are aggressive. They're really coming out here. 49ers look like they're perplexed. Well, as all great teams do, 49ers got it together. Lions actually, let's think about this. The Lions actually lost the game in the first half. Now, I'm going to tell you why. A lot of people think the Lions lost in the second half when their all too aggressive coach, Dan Campbell, decided to go for first downs, instead of kicking makeable field goals. Would have padded the lead. My feeling is the Lions lost the game in the first half. If you remember, late in the first half, 10 seconds to go, Lions had the ball, 4th and goal at the San Francisco 2-yard line. Now, the smart people, the conservative people, the common sense people would say, kick the field goal, go up 3 scores, 24-7, and you put the pressure on the 49ers. Fine. But that is not Dan Campbell. That is not his MO. That's not how Detroit played all year. Detroit took chances. They were aggressive. And that was a big part of why they were where they were in the championship game. Everybody expected, okay, Dan Campbell's going to go for it here, 4th and 2. This is the kill shot. This is where you put the 49ers away. You go up 28-7, and you really stop on the 49ers, right? 49ers go into halftime, and they feel, wow, what was it? Did anybody get the license plate of that truck that just hit us, right? Instead, Campbell goes for the field goal. Now, you can't fault him for that. Again, puts the Lions up 3 scores, 24-7. That's fine. But here's what happened. Coming out of the halftime, Campbell was interviewed. And Campbell said he still had regrets. It was bugging him why he didn't go for that touchdown at the end of the half. Said, that's what I've been doing all year. It's fine to get the 3 points. I wanted a 7. I left 4 points on the table there. So it was just gnawing, bugging, gnawing. To the point where he got overly aggressive in the second half. He had a chance to kick a makeable field goal. 3rd quarter, he passed it up. Probably the most egregious decision was when he had a chance, about 6 minutes left to go in the 4th quarter, to tie the game. Again, something like 4th and 2, 4th and 3, whatever. He decides to go for it. Yes, his receivers, especially Josh Reynolds, who is a 3rd option on that team, drops the ball. Yes, it's a play that Detroit should have made, but they did. So instead of tying the game and forcing the 49ers to drive down the field to win the game, Campbell elects not to tie the game. Well, then the 49ers just ran out the clock. They did not give the ball back to the Lions. They just pounded the ball on the ground. They used McCaffrey. They used Samuels. When they had to throw, they did. Kittle put a big pass. The 49ers just put them away. Yeah. That was the key mistake because Campbell had to tie the game. He had to. Because even if the 49ers went down and got a touchdown or a field goal, the Lions still had a chance to come back down and tie the game or go ahead at the end. So there was still controversy even at the end. 49ers took the ball down. Lions got the ball back, my correction. Lions got the ball back down 10 points. 49ers went down, scored the touchdown. Went up by 10 with about 3 minutes to go. So you saying Lions are kicking themselves saying, damn, a couple minutes ago we had a chance to tie the freaking game. And now we're down by 10 points. How are we going to win this game? They still had 3 timeouts and they got the ball. So what did they do? They take the ball all the way down, less than a minute to go. They're at the goal line of San Francisco. They wanted to keep their timeouts because the Lions scored. The Lions had 3 timeouts. Instead of going for an onside kick, they could kick away. Do or die. Have to hold the 49ers. Do not allow them to get a first down. Use your timeouts. 49ers have to punt the ball back to you. You get the ball. No timeouts, but you still have life. You go down, get your touchdown, get your field goal, go to overtime, right? Take your chances. Well, instead of throwing the ball down at the goal line, less than a minute to go, the Lions decide to run the ball with Montgomery. He gets tackled. 49ers need to use a timeout. The clock doesn't run out. They eventually score. Great catch by Jameson Williams in the end zone. 49ers down by 3. But now they have to go for the onside kick. Instead of kicking it away, holding in these 49ers and using their timeouts. So what are the chances of getting an onside kick? Maybe like 2%. So those timeouts that Campbell had in his burning in the hole in his pocket, they were for naught because the Lions kicked the onside kick. Naturally, they didn't get it. Although the ball was bouncing around. They had a chance to get that ball. But no Lions down where the ball ended up. 49ers covered. Okay. 49ers handoff. Timeout by the Lions. 49ers handoff. Timeout by the Lions. All the 49ers had to do, hand the ball off one more time, wind the clock down to 1 second left. 4th down, stack the ball, take a knee, game over. So, all through that, it was just Dan Campbell just screwed up. He just screwed up. Yes, the Lions did not make the plays they needed to make. Jamar Gibbs, crucial fumble. Josh Reynolds, 2 drop passes. Jared Goff only targeted St. Brown, his leading receiver, once during the second half. What the hell? Why not throw it to St. Brown? Laporta had a good game, his tight end. Just too many bad decisions. Defense, quarterbacks, 9 quarterbacks had a chance for at least 2 interceptions that the ball went through their hands. Jameson Williams, 4th down, long pass, 4th quarter, ball goes through his hands. You can't make those kind of mistakes in the championship game. You know what the theme was through the whole day? Experience. Think about it. Chiefs have been there before. Chiefs are used to the spotlight. They're used to the pressure. They have experience. They know how to deal with it. They know that they're going to have some bad times during games. Things even out. You're going to have good times too. Chiefs didn't panic, and the experience went over. Same way with the Lions and the 49ers. 49ers have been there before. Now they lost the championship game last year to the Eagles. We know that. But they've been there. Lions, first time, right? And it showed. It's just hard for me to believe that it was like Jekyll and Hyde, you know? The Lions played such a good first half. I won't say great, because they did mess up that drive at the end of the half. They played such a good first half and such a terrible, awful, stinky second half. So the Lions were like Jekyll and Hyde. The Ravens were just Hyde. They were terrible the whole freaking game. Anyway, interesting stuff. As we get down to it, think about it. Mid-season, never thought the Chiefs were going to get back to the Super Bowl, right? First of all, history was against them. Very hard for the same team to get back-to-back Super Bowls, let alone win it, just get there. Think about all this competition in the AFC. Buffalo, Miami. Miami was hot there for a while, right? Cincinnati, while Joe Burrow was healthy. Pittsburgh had a shot. Baltimore, of course, top team. Jacksonville, right? All this competition in the AFC. And who ends up on top? Old Kansas City. Andy Reid, Steve Spagnuolo, the defensive coordinator, great game plan against Baltimore. Patrick Mahomes, maybe one of the best quarterbacks ever. And if we knew this difference, smart people did, not me. We got a seasoned pro like Mahomes against Lamar Jackson, who has a history of choking in the playoffs. You thought, all right, this guy's going to be MVP. Maybe he's going to play a little bit better. He's going to at least play even with Holmes, right? And defense would make a difference. No, Mahomes outplayed him. So you got Kansas City, winners of the AFC. And then in the NFC, San Francisco, pretty much top dog all year long. Had a rough spot there, lost 3 games in a row. Came into Philadelphia, that really turned their season around. It really did. Coming in and beating the Eagles, not only beating them, but kicking their ass. And I can say that as an Eagles fan. Coming into Philadelphia, payback, revenge for last year's championship game. Turned the season around for the 49ers. Went on a roll, never looked back. And as we can see, San Francisco was the top team. Pretenders. Dallas was a pretender. The Eagles were pretenders. Even the Lions, in the long run, pretenders. San Francisco was the top team all along. And today we wake up and San Francisco is the NFC champions. So, well, we'll talk about the Super Bowl. We have 2 weeks to go. Sometimes I feel, they should play the Super Bowl the week after. But I understand all the hype, all the teams want to practice. They didn't want to get to Las Vegas, where all this partying is going to be going on, all this hype leading up to the big game in 2 weeks, right? I get it. And oh my God, what a circus that's going to be, huh? I mean, you're going to have Taylor Swift there, the Taylor Swift, like the biggest pop artist in the world right now. He's going to be at the Super Bowl, not performing, but going to be there supporting her boyfriend, Travis Kelce. So CBS won. A lot of people were saying, how the game's fixed. The calls will go for Kansas City. CBS and the NFL, they want Taylor Swift at the game. They want that extra audience that they're going to get. Maybe people who don't care about football, but they're going to tune in to see Taylor Swift and root for her boyfriend, Travis Kelce. So CBS got what they wanted. I don't think the game is fixed. There were some questionable calls there that did not go against Kansas City. I agree. But that's the way it goes, right? So you got Taylor Swift going, and then you got the Niners who have their crown, right? And so I think it's going to be a good Super Bowl. You got the experience with the Chiefs. You've got Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, up against the Niners with all those weapons. And, as it turned out in the end, Brock Purdy, the very last pick of the draft, overcame the very first pick of the draft, Jared Goff of the Lions. Good Super Bowl coming up. We'll talk way more about that as the days go. Everybody have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Have some corn chips today. Pop some bubble wrap. Work on a puzzle. I can think of a lot worse things to do, such as what I'm going to do. After this podcast is over, I'm going to the freaking dentist. Well, I'm just going to have my teeth cleaned and checked. But, there are places I'd rather be than sit in a dentist chair for an hour, right? Like the beach. Not today, but someday, soon. Anyway, whatever you're doing, have a great day. I see our friend Bud, he left. Well, what the hell? He must not be a football fan. And he's waiting for baseball as I am. You guys have a great day. I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Bye for now. I always have a hard time signing off. It's like YouTube doesn't want me to leave. It's like I should stand here all day and talk and talk and talk.